Hello guys, welcome back to the channel. This is lesson number 2 where we will proofread our automatic translations to make sure our landing page converts the best. We will be using this service called ConveyThis, and that website itself is translated into multiple languages, but we will need to translate our test website, which is giglot.com, into Italian language. As you can see, it's been already translated into Italian language with the machine translation. It's a default option when you download and activate ConveyThis in select languages. The first translation is automatic. We can use it as a draft to keep going and translate more. But automatic translation is not enough. We have to proofread it. And in our case, we have the landing page on WordPress. And we also have the dashboard, which is not the WordPress. It's on a subdomain, on a separate subdomain. So what we should do is we should go to our dashboard, where we can see all sorts of information, like on which plan we're at, how many words, what's our limits at this stage. But most importantly, you need to click on My Translations. And here you can see that we have two places where we activated our language switcher. The root domain, which is giglot.com, and dashboard.giglot.com. So let's do it one by one. So the first one, the main page, let's click on My Translations. And this page will show you everything at once. You need to narrow down your search since we have multiple languages. Let's narrow it down to Italian since we're proofreading the Italian version. So giglot.com shows that 96% quality. That means 96% of the segments has already been reviewed by someone. So when I started recording this video, of course, I cheated a little bit because we already invited the freelancer to proofread this project. That's why the number is so high. But nevertheless, I'm going to show you all the instruments on how to do it yourself. So the first instrument, which is very popular and very common among our users, is to use the visual editor. So let's click next to the URL, visual editor, which opens up a new window. And in this window, you can see an imitation of the Giglot website, but in an iframe of ConveyThis. And when you move the element next to each of the segment, you can see this little pen image, which you can click on, and then you can proofread it. In my case, I don't speak Italian, so I cannot really spot the difference between professional translation and machine translation. But I can, for the sake of example, I can change capitalization on audio and video and testo with capital letters and save changes. Let's save the changes. And these changes are being applied live to the website. This is the editing layer, and this is the actual layer. So let's reload the actual layer and see how the translation would look like. Okay, so you see audio, video, and testo are all capitalized with first letters. That's how easy it is to use this virtual visual editor. The editor number 2 is the text editor. Let's click on that and see how different it is from the rest. So the text editor gives you the side-by-side view, original and target language, in our case Italian. And then you can see that some of these things you can edit yourself. There are three statuses essentially: the machine, custom, and pro. Machine means this is automatic translation. Custom means we did something to it, or we click the button which says this little checkbox. It says approve translation. So once I click on this checkbox, so this one is not approved. I want it to be for the linguist to review it and then they can approve it. Let's, for example, I want to approve this translation and click on the checkbox, and it says translation is updated and the segment is moved from machine to custom. It means somebody looked at it, approved it, or instead of approving you can start typing something, like add a couple of spaces or checkboxes, and you can, this is also considered custom. Sometimes translation is accurate from the machine translator, so you don't have to do anything. That's why we created this approve checkbox button. So when you subcontract your job to your friend or a coworker to do the proofreading, they have to address every single segment. This way you will know that when you go back to your pages, you would see that how much work they have done. If you look at the Italian version, you can see 97% of the segments have been actually marked as proofread, which is a good idea. But these are the two interfaces if you are if you know what you're doing, if you speak Italian or any other languages you're translating. But what if you don't? What if you do not have those people in place? The solution is simple. There is an add to cart button which adds essentially the whole page, which is roughly 815 words. It adds everything into the cart. So if you go to the cart, you see this this page is added there. So if you are an entrepreneur and you want to value your time and move swiftly into these foreign markets and experiment with ideas, you can just subcontract this job to ConveyThis verified pool of freelancers and subcontractors to do this job for you. So all you have to do is to select the required pages, like in my case, and for a low price of $81, you can pay with credit card, PayPal, and you can order this professional proofreading. Only 9 cents per word, which is a great deal. The only drawback, you see, the ConveyThis does the minimum fee, so they, instead of charging you $81, they will have to charge you 99 bucks. So make sure you add more than one page. You can add maybe a second page, third page, and so on and so on. Additional stuff I need to go over is the dashboard. Dashboard is not based on WordPress, it's on the subdomain. Therefore, if you click on My Translations and you try to narrow down by the by French, by Italian, and you try to proofread the dashboard with the visual editor, you will not be able to do that because dashboard is hidden with the login, right? So since this is intermediate proxy level layer, it cannot handle visually the translations of the closed off pages. But you can use the text editor. So you see the dashboard has been proofread the home page 60%, which is that type of part. This is the home page. It's been proofread by 60%. That means there are still a lot of stuff that is not confirmed, like for example this one, or this one, or that one, and that one. Like Giglot, yes, this is confirmed. I can approve translation. Password, I can approve, right? But the rest, I'm not sure what it means. I need to consult with a freelancer. And to send the segments to freelancer to proofread, I can do it like this. There's a Order Pro button next to it, so I can click this segment and add it to the cart. And I can click this segment to, oh, this is already done. Never mind. I can click this segment to add to the cart. And if I go back to the cart, I can see that this segment will appear there as well. So that's a important feature. There is also very important feature for you guys to understand is there are certain parts in a dashboard which are not the interface related, and you don't need to be translating them. This could be user generated interfaces, right? In case of this website, they have the audio transcripts or video transcripts, so it's a user-generated content, and you don't really need to translate that user-generated content because when you're using ConveyThis, you are paying, your limits are affected by the number of words you are translating. So the tag that comes handy is called, for example, let's open one of the transcript. Let's do the right click on any of the text, inspect element, and we will see that so this whole D file has the tag called ConveyThis no translate. You need to add this tag to any part of your website which you would like to skip on translating. This will save you word counts, and this will make it safer for your users, since they can have like privacy concerns, like why do you want their stuff to be loaded to translate to the cloud, right? So it like goes to the server. So you add this tag, and this part of the website will not be translated. So this is the one thing to bear in mind. Another thing to bear in mind is the glossary. Glossary is a convenient tool to translate certain parts, certain words, certain phrases in a certain way, or not translate them at all. That means that if you have a brand name like ConveyThis, like Gglot, like whatever, Translation Cloud, you can have specify to ConveyThis that it will not be translated or translated in a certain way. So these tools will greatly help you to do that. One last thing to improve the quality is if you want to still use your own friends and relatives to do the translations for you in other languages, you can click on the three dots on the My Domains page, and next to your domain you can click on the team. This is the team of people, which managers and translators. Managers is obviously a person with more access to stuff. Managers can hire and unhire translators, and translators can only do the translation work. They cannot hire other translators. So you can invite the people to access certain languages on your project, and they can work for you, so you can pay them whatever you decide them to pay on your own, looking at your own terms, and then you can bring them to the website and they can do the work for you. So there are multiple ways to do that. You can either hire your own freelancers, invite them over. You can do the translations yourself using the text and visual editors, and you can use the professional translators, add the pages to the cart, do the checkout, and then you could get the professionally translated pages in a couple of days. The reason I'm devoting the whole lesson to proofreading of machine translations is because some users try to ask the question, how would you ensure the quality of the automatic translation? And this is the inherently wrong question. It's not how we ensure the quality of the automatic translation. Automatic translation is not the quality translation. That's the false statement. You have to reframe the question differently. The question should be, how would you improve the quality of the machine translation yourself? Like, would you have enough instruments, enough tools to do that? And certainly ConveyThis offers these instruments and tools to do that. And this is the important step before we start putting traffic to your website, before we start doing any marketing and bring the foreign visitors to your website. This is the important step to understand that you have to proofread the translation to make it serious, to make it less laughable, that the users will trust you, your brand, and then you can go and expand globally and bring the foreign traffic. So guys, you need to understand these tools. You need to spend some time on your website changing your front end, your back end pages, adding those no translate tags, which parts you want to skip on, and then you would be a successful marketer going forward. So this concludes this presentation. You guys, thank you so much for watching it to the very end. Give this video a powerful like. Subscribe to this channel if you haven't done so. In the next lesson, we're going to finally study how to do the marketing for your new web page, how to bring the traffic from Google, how to find those keywords, how to write the text ads, and so on and so on. So stay tuned, and thank you for watching. Bye-bye.